Hi, how's everyone doing? Welcome to this session. Super excited to be here as always. Engaged me once from 63 Ventures, and I'm really happy to be here again to discuss another session, another amazing topic with you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for always um, accepting and going through our content, giving us feedback. We really do appreciate that. We're just going to get right into today's own. So our topic for today is entrepreneurship and opportunities in the Nigerian economy. So the topic again is entrepreneurship and opportunities in the Nigerian economy. So Nigeria is a pro entrepreneurship state. Like everyone has a side hustle or a business they're trying to promote or make profitable or keep sustainable and everything. So everyone has businesses, everyone has dreams and goals. I mean, coming from a place where you really don't have much, there's a lot going on negatively, so people have to find or chart their own course, find their own path, and this makes everyone get into businesses or try to push some form of business or make some kind of money. So we're looking at entrepreneurship in the Nigerian space. I mean, a lot of things we're putting out have been Africa related and Nigeria related, majorly because of they're trying to give insight into what is happening in the African space, why we're particular about that space. I mean, Africa is the future, and the kind of projects we have ongoing right now in that space, in that part of the world. So it's only right for us to give the right information, and as little as it may sound or as little as it may be, we're just putting out lots of contents, quality stuff, and with time, um, everything comes together. People have solid understanding or have knowledge about what's happening here. Because a lot of people have ideas. They always ask questions. What's happening in Nigeria? They're always inquisitive or curious as to how, what's really happening in Nigeria. What is Africa all about? So this is just giving a little insight for not only investors but um, everybody, the general public, and people who just want to have this information for themselves. I hope you enjoy this one as much as I do. Also, so we'll get right into it. The topic is entrepreneurship and opportunities in the Nigerian economy. Um, so, so so the outline we're going to be um, going with on this topic is um, quite simple. Um, so section one is an overview of the economy. So we're just going to give you a brief analysis of what the economy is, the Nigerian economy is like. Just brief introduction and explanation of what the economy is about in general. Then we go further into entrepreneurship in Nigeria, giving some little details here and there. And then we talk about the different sectors of the Nigerian economy. Then we look at mitigating factors, that's challenges and issues with the Nigerian economy. And last but not the least, we're going to look at some key takeaways and summary of the session of this presentation. I feel this outline encapsulates everything we're trying to talk about right now. I mean, there's a lot of content out there for research purposes, but we just wanted to shed our own light on basic things here and there. So let's go. First one is an overview of the economy. Nigerian economy is, I doubt if the word explains it properly. It's like a mixture of a maze and a labyrinth and everything in between. So it's like everything is happening. It shows the extremities of good and bad. It has everything good happening, a lot of good happening, and a whole lot more of bad happening also. A lot of people, and the economy is quite one of the largest on the continent. It's actually the largest economy in the African continent. And this is because Nigeria is also the largest population or the largest black nation on the planet. As of the last national population census, the population statistics and data stood at over 200 million Nigerian people. This is one of the this is one of the largest population of people and also the largest black nation on the planet. That's why when you go to every part in the world or you go to different places, you're like people are like, oh, you're Nigerian, then you can meet Nigerians in almost every pocket in every corner of the planet Earth. And doing amazing stuff for themselves, also doing great stuff. So we're just going to look at the overview of the Nigerian economy, bringing it back to home, and explaining some little things, giving you an insider's view, a little glimpse into what the economy is about. So the Nigerian economy is a middle income economy with most of its income coming from oil and gas. So I'm going to state here, Nigeria is one of the developing countries. So we have developed countries, we have developing countries, and we have underdeveloped countries. So it's like we are at the rear end. We're still trying to sort ourselves out, and it's taking so long. That's why there's a lot of frustration with Nigerian people because it's a country that's so blessed that seems to have a cause of not achieving its full potential because of leadership, majorly leadership issues, a lot of problems as regards also the people, the culture, and everything. So the country, I mean, every country has their own problems, but it seems like our problems are always compounding and getting more and more obvious. Things are becoming more ambiguous also. So the Nigerian economy is quite different. It's you can't really pinpoint some certain things. There are lots of it's like a chaos. Like everything is happening at the same time, in a fast rate. If it's going so well, it's going so well. And so if it's going so bad, it goes really bad. And this happens like almost every day. But one thing you need to know about Nigerian economy is like it's a middle income economy. It's not one of the top economies like that. It has majority of the people who make money or who are in this economy are of the middle and lower class of society. It's one of the impoverished nations also in the world. Poverty rate is high. Unemployment rate is skyrocketing every single quarter, every single day. Inflation is at an all-time high. Um, Things are just like sometimes you feel like you want to sugarcoat the truth, but the fact is, it's there for everyone to see. Things are not going well, regardless of how you look at it. For a country that's so blessed, that has lots of resources, and the country that makes its income from oil and gas, Nigeria has one of the largest deposits of oil and gas on the planet, in the world. We are one of the largest contributors of oil and gas and exporters of oil and gas. We have one of the largest reserves. We are also part of the OPEC nations. We're just slightly behind countries like Saudi Arabia, Libya, and the likes. But we produce a large amount of oil and gas. Nigeria has been dependent. Can I say, can I actually assume, or I could probably say Nigeria has been over dependent on oil and gas ever since oil and gas. The first oil deposit was found in Oloibiri in Bayelsa State, and that's in the southern part of Nigeria. So that's like the southern part of Nigeria is the most is the area with the most oil reserve, and this is the oil is one of the is the literally the major thing that contributes to the Nigerian GDP as of now. There've been talks about diversification, and apparently no administration gets it right. But oil and gas is really important. I mean, if we do have oil, I don't know where, but we would obviously find an alternative. But if our oil prices, and if whenever it sinks or when things go bad, um, the country feels it. Like it's a hard blow to the heart of the country. So we also have agriculture, um, real estate, entertainment. Entertainment is really big right now. Nigeria has one of the largest entertainment spaces and one of the most profitable on the planet. I mean, the Nigerian movie industry is the second best movie industry in the world. The music industry is booming and buzzing every single day. I mean, we have international superstars, um, creators and comedians and content people who are in the content space, fashion design, art, um, lots of things happening in entertainment, good things, and obviously being pioneered by a lot of young, vibrant, intelligent, and creative Nigerians. And also the tech sector is also buzzing. We have some of the best tech talents in the world. This is not an exaggeration. This is the fact, and tech is buzzing right now. Africa has a lot of silicons. Africa has, I think, 6 silicons as we speak, and Nigeria has over 4 of those silicons located in Lagos, Nigeria. So you can see that not only is the country blessed with natural resources, I mean, every single state in the Nigerian within Nigeria, Nigeria has over 36 states. Every single state in Nigeria has at least over two um, large deposits of um, natural resources and mineral resources. And these deposits are in commercial quantity, meaning they can be used for, like they have high value and they can be mined for commercial purposes. They can be sold, exported, and used for raw materials for industries. And so it feels like when we have all these resources like gemstone, iron, coal, every single thing is still, we are still not at the point where we need to be or where we are deserving of. And one of the most important resource that Nigeria actually has, which I believe to be the most important, is human resources, because we have one of the youngest population in the world. Out of the population, I mentioned that our population was over 200 million Nigerians as of the last national population census, and taking that into consideration, Nigeria has over 60% of that population as young people. We are one of the youngest. Africa is actually a young planet. Lots of African countries are very young in terms of demographics. Nigeria is also one of the youngest, has one of the youngest age averages in the world. And this human resource is actually the most important resource, because I mean the people make up the country, and once you get it right with the people, the country moves forward. And we have a lot of young people who are smart, um, who are creative, who are energetic, who are vibrant, who are forward thinkers, who are innovators, and they are trying to make a living for themselves in a bubble that's so in a space that's so frustrating. So um, there are lots of bottlenecks and everything. So we're not going to go all down into um, um, saying all about the negative things. Obviously, there are lots of bad things going on, just like in every other state. But we're just making you understand what the Nigerian economy looks like from our point of view, or if you look um, from an outsider's perspective. So Nigeria has the largest economy. I just said that in Africa, Nigeria's economy is referred to as a mixed economy. And this is because we have government and private industries overlapping in the same space, the same geographical zone, in the same economy. So it means like government industries and government projects, government industries, government services are being supplemented with private industries. I mean, a lot of private industries are available. It's more of private, it's leaning towards private, more privatization and all that. And there's also talks about, there've always been talks about privatizing the oil and gas sector, trying to solve Nigeria's issues, trying to solve bleeding economy. Nigeria's economy has been depleting and recessive for a very long time. So a country's economy consists of every activity that is connected to the production, trade, and consumption of goods. It is also, or rather, it also encompasses the labor force, revenues, and other economic sectors in the country. So this all make up a country's economy, and Nigeria is not left out. Nigeria is not um, alien to this. The economy is also one that has production, trade, and consumption of goods. We are not much of a production or a manufacturing nation. We are more of a consuming nation because if you look at almost everything, we have almost everything. Literally a lot of things that other countries do not have. Major countries, big countries, world powers like the US, France, Germany, Britain. These countries do not have as much as much resources as the Nigerian people or the Nigerian nation has, but for some reason we are not at the same levels with these countries. And Nigeria seems to be underperforming a whole lot. Um, Inflation is hitting the country hard, the economy hard, and unemployment is at a very high, an all-time high. Um, Standard of living, a lot of people live below $1 per day in Nigeria, and this is really sad. But we're just telling you that Nigeria also has all this um, connected um, services, and it's really important for us to make use of this. I mean, the economy is mixed. The inclusion of private industries has been helping a lot, but it still means there's a lot that can be done. So the Nigerian economy is largely consumer based. I mean, I just say that um, this is really, really appalling. This is really sad to say for a country we actually export our crude oil and refine our crude oil, which is really sad because, I mean, we can literally have refineries here in Nigeria. We don't have functional refineries, we don't have manufacturing sector is really low. Some of the raw materials we have to export them and change them to some of the natural resources we have to export them and change them to raw materials for industries in Nigeria to use them. So it's like we have these mineral resources and these natural resources in their raw form, in the rawest form possible, and in large quantities. And we don't have industries to the government and people who have been here, those who are in position of power for some reason, for as regards corruption and greed. They have not done the right things. We don't have industries that can make this transform um, these natural resources into raw materials for industries, timber, cement, whatever, steel. I mean, the Ajaokuta steel industry in Nigeria, which is a dead project because it has not been resurrected for decades. It's supposed to be the nation's forefront industry, steel industry. I mean, if we had that alone, it will solve a lot of issues to take off a heavy load on the economy. Um, but we have to, it's sad to see that as a country that has all these minerals and natural resources, we have to export them to transfer them into raw materials and then import them back into the country for the industries to make use of them. This is sad, and industrialization is very poor. I don't see any country that thrives without industrialization. Industrialization is at the core of nation. It's one of the factors that's a pivot in nation building, and we've not managed to hack that or resolve that issue as Nigeria people. So despite the bountiful amount of large resources, natural resources, we have arable land, very good land. You can barely hear about natural disasters. I mean, it seems like we are so blessed, and we don't we. It was almost like God, God said, or the people whoever placed us in this part of the world, um, gave us all these things, and still laughed or felt like we were still not going to do as much as we should do with this So what the point I'm trying to say is we have so much good things, and we don't have natural disasters. There is good land, very good land in large quantities that we don't use. We've not made we've not used it to its full potential, and we have a very vibrant young population. Human capital is really good. Um, People who are um, smart, ambitious, learned, people who, who get to upskill or get skills, relevant skills, young people, but still we import some of the basic things down to a toothpick, down to we import a lot of things down to matchbox. I mean, all this could be done in the country, and this is due to a lack of industrialization, economic recession, and most importantly, corrupt leadership. Because the people who are in positions of power have to get these things right, and for some reason, they do not want to talk about or resolve these issues. And we talked about all this, some other issues as regards corruption and government, the government, governance activities, political activities in the Nigerian um, space. In some of our videos on the channel, so you might want to check that out also. Um, if you want further understanding of what corruption looks like. I'm just trying to, I just had to chip that in there. So the country has fertile land that supports growth of any type of agricultural produce. Um, but in states, we have, I mean, this explains a whole lot. There is so much good that's available for the country, but people, we've not done, we're literally, we're literally just scratching the surface. We've not done anything as regards making sure this, this resources um, and these resources that are available, how can we transform it and make the lives of the Nigerian people better, increase um, the standard of living, improve the country, help the economy, grow the economy, make sure there is development, infrastructure, and otherwise. So, with all this, the country has fertile land, has natural resources, um, has livestock, cash crops, and all that. Nigeria still imports almost 70% of its food yearly. It's really sad. Um, a lot of people, um, there's food shortage. It's not only about food production, food, um, food processing also is really nothing to write home about. And this obviously is going to affect the population because people need to feed. So this is one of the gloomy truths about Nigeria. And so the GDP as of 2021 stood at as of third quarter of 2021 or fourth quarter of 2021, sorry, so that's over 514 billion US dollars. I mean, this data was getting from some reputable organizations and research organizations like Statista and the likes. So unemployment rate in Nigeria as at the fourth quarter of 2021 stood at over 33%. That's 33.28%. This is one of the highest it has ever been. And this shows that things are not done. Things are not being done. Things are not right. There are lots of things wrong. And we've known these issues. And it's almost like you know the problem. Um, have case studies of how to solve the problem, but nobody wants to solve the problem. People just want to siphon funds, embezzle funds, take money, and do whatever they want to do, greed, corrupt leaders, and everything. So it's just a circle, and we're going round and round, and the country is suffering, the nation is suffering, she suffers every day. So the GDP, as of the fourth quarter of Nigeria's GDP stood at over 514 billion dollars, and our unemployment rate as of the fourth quarter of 2021 also stood at over 33 rather 0.28%. Consumer price index in Nigeria as at August 2021 was at 391.5. The minimum wage is 30,000 naira, which is below $100. That means a Nigerian civil servant or staff minimum wage for all staff or employers in Nigeria is at least 30,000 naira, which is poor. And I can tell you for a fact that there are people who earn less than this amount of money. A lot of the population, a lot of people earn below this amount of money, and this tells a lot. That means we are actually when people say some certain things about Nigeria, it's the hard truth, and the truth is always hard to take. It's a hard pill to swallow. Nigeria is becoming or has become, especially most recently, has become the poverty capital of the world because there are lots of people that don't have jobs, opportunities. Um, Life is going down, standard of living is depleting, everything is um, destroying, everything is going from bad to worse and I think worse than that. So things are going really, really bad. Nigeria's inflationary rate is over 17.5%. These are high numbers for the the country. Some of these numbers have not been attained before. Um, um, that's why there are serious concerns as to what is happening, why are things not going right, and if you look closely, you would see some answers. I mean, it boils down from the leadership in terms of course, whenever something is not being done right, whenever things are going wrong, people who are in positions of power have to be held accountable. They have to do the right thing. We seem to have all the bad eggs in this country. So these numbers are really disheartening. An important source of income in Nigeria is oil, crude oil. Over 80% of oil export value derives from the trading of mineral fuels, oils, and distillation products. Nigeria has lots of oil, crude oil, large deposits. And people always ask when these deposits dry up, what's next? Why are we not preparing for the future? And there are some sectors that are popping up from time to time, showing promise, but still, and the country is not yet ready to transition into um, a stage where um, they are not over dependent. We are not over dependent on the oil and gas sector. Nigeria is one of the key oil producing countries globally, the eighth largest exporter in terms of value. We are one of the highest exporters of crude oil. A lot of countries buy crude oil from Nigeria. The US, Russia, lots of countries you know about. Nigeria's oil is actually a very good one. So we're looking at entrepreneurship now in detail. Just give you a brief understanding, just a brief um, background and overview of what the Nigerian economy looks like. Now we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Entrepreneurs are like the capillaries of the economy. I'd like to think that capillaries are blood vessels that are really important and make sure that the oxidated blood with oxygen and blood without oxygen flowing in different directions from different body parts. There is no issue with their movements and all that. That's in simple terms. So entrepreneurs are like the capital and they're very important, just like you have the arteries and the veins. They are quite as important as your arteries and your veins in your body. So they are like the capillaries of the economy. So they are really, really important. They stand at a junction or at a position that affects a lot of things in the economy in every sector. This comparison is prevailing in Nigeria and evident in our daily activities. So it's safe to say that the populace look out for opportunities that are beneficial to them amongst collapsing industries or competitors challenges. So what this means is, like I said before, um, um, a lot of things are going wrong. So, and the Nigerian people are strong-willed, determined, and focused, trying to make livings for themselves. Hardworking people, very hardworking people. So a lot of them um, are in positions where the government doesn't do anything. There is no steady 24 power supply. Nigeria has not been able to do that for 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 like um years and years and years. Promises and promises come along, but they don't. Nobody has been able to solve that. Um, then the road infrastructure is bad in the country. There are no good roads, power supply, water supply, things basic human needs, housing. Nigerians have to spend a lot. There's no the mortgage banks and mortgages are not in they don't serve anybody. They're not people don't even make use of these services as they should be. The services are not available. They're just glorified um, institutions and parastatals and services just to fulfill all righteousness. They don't really do much. Majority of the people who own homes in Nigeria have to pay from their blood and sweat, from their pensions, and have to save over time without any government soft landing to buy or rent properties. And these properties are at outrageous prices. They're being rented and sold at outrageous prices. Lots of people, Nigeria has a housing crisis also because we have lots of people out of homes, people who cannot afford homes for a large amount of the population, really large amount of the population. So it's safe to say that the population, when you have this kind of situation where the government really doesn't do anything for the people have to do things for themselves. And it's sad because these are electoral officers of people who hold positions of power that were elected into office by the people. They are there to serve people, but they don't and they care less. It's all about collecting money, um, corruption, embezzling funds, and the likes, abuse of power. So it's safe to say that the population, the lots of people in Nigeria look out for these opportunities. They have the entrepreneurial mind. They have the mind to succeed. They want to do businesses for themselves in Nigeria a whole lot. So it's important to note that failure is not an option for all business owners in Nigeria. I say this unlike other people where if you're in the US or in the UK and you feel they could probably tap your back and tell you, ah, that's okay, it happens. But here, if you feel you have, it's almost like everyone has one shot to make it, um, one shot to make it. So that's why there's this boldness and determination that everyone carries within themselves to make it. For all business owners in Nigeria. Also, a majority of the sectors in the economy have a lot of irregularities, and as such, entrepreneurs don't have funding. They face bad policies. These are some of the serious hurdles as regards entrepreneurship in Nigeria, and also a depleting and recessive economy. Um, this is a tough this is a tough scenario for you to run a business. If you make it, there's a very popular saying that goes, if you make it in Nigeria, if you make it in Lagos, you can make it anywhere because it's so tough. And that's why Nigerians are really tough people and people who just want to win in life. And so a lot of these hurdles, like bad policies, one day you wake up, you're in business, and one day you wake up and there's a policy that is going to literally run your business down. The government comes up with policies, outrageous policies. There are no proper loans and services for people, funding, ease of doing business is really poor here in Nigeria. What can be done better? It feels like for people that are doing so much for themselves, for the population, for the people, members of the general public who are doing so much for themselves, and the government and the economy just finds a way of frustrating all your efforts. One day you could probably just lose everything due to something, a silly mistake, a silly theory by someone, and they get away with it scot free. There are no, there are every single sector of the economy in the country. You can literally not say one of them is working so well, except sectors that are being pioneered by the young people. I say this again by the young people. And that's why you have um, Nigerian young musicians and actors and like entertainment and technology standing out globally and waving the flag, Nigerian flag high and making a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians proud. Um, so this is really a hard place to do business. Entrepreneurship can be described as the evaluation of a business opportunity, whether it's a new opportunity or existing opportunity, and the process of acting on it. Most of the times, it's by one person. One person starts the dream and runs along with it and gets to build the business. Entrepreneurship is often related with terms like technological innovation and risk taking or risk. It's really important. Nigeria has huge unemployment rates. So a lot of people who come out of the university are done with college, are done with school, and they roam around and go, they try so hard to get jobs. Most of them have are outstanding, um, um, have good grades, have skills, very good skills, but the jobs are not available, and um, a lot of these jobs um, are not well-paying jobs. So Nigeria doesn't only have an employment crisis, an unemployment crisis. We have also have an underemployment crisis, which means some people have jobs and these jobs are not paying them. They're paying them peanuts. The jobs are not paying them well to cover their needs and their bills. So college graduates are faced with this kind of challenges of joblessness, poor paying jobs, poverty, and inexpert skill set to compete for 21st century jobs, which means some of them don't even have the skills that are required that are required in the present age. It seems like a lot of curriculum in lots of Nigerian universities are outdated, are archaic, they're phasing out, and this has to change because you can't pour old wine into a new jar or a new skin. You can't continue going with an old mindset. You can't keep on using old data and information in a technological advanced um, world like the one we live in as of today. So this says a lot. That's why a lot of people are out of jobs. So the social economic of this has resulted in a rinse and repeat scenario, which means they just go through. It's almost like a circle. Everyone comes out and gets plunged into the labor market and go through the same process over and over and over again. So graduates who leave school find themselves struggling to land good paying jobs, and this turns into a circle which leading to frustration. So majority of these people, instead of sitting idle, they try to do businesses for themselves. Entrepreneurs are born out of this, and it's not that they are well trained, which is also one of the issues with entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Most of these people who go into businesses are not well trained to be entrepreneurs or business owners or business founders or even business partners. They don't have basic business skills, but they literally they can't sit down idle. They have needs, they have mouths to feed, and they're hungry. They have to make a living for themselves. So you can see here, like we outlined here, the movement goes from being a graduate to being a job seeker, and then eventually ending up being an entrepreneur, since you can't get a well-paying job or there are no jobs available at all. So over the years, I mentioned this, the curriculum in Nigerian higher institutions, universities, colleges of education, polytechnics has seen the introduction of entrepreneurship and business studies for all students. I mean, I can remember when um, if you go to any school right now in Nigeria, they tell you they have some general studies, some GST courses in entrepreneurship, which a lot of students, almost all the students in Nigerian universities and higher institutions have to take. It's a compulsory course, but it's just a one semester course. It's mostly a 1 or 2 semester course, which is not enough information. It's not proper. It's not sufficient training for people, or it is not something that's sufficient enough to train people to become good entrepreneurs. So this is not. This is it's a step in the right direction. It was not here, say 5 to 10 or 7 years ago. it was not in curriculums of higher institutions, of Nigerian higher institutions. But still, now it is here. It is still not enough to prepare someone to be a good entrepreneur and start businesses that can be sustainable and profitable. So there are lots of schemes that fund Nigerian businesses, supposedly fund Nigerian businesses. Some of them actually do it, and a lot of them are privately owned and they are commendable. So one of them is the Tony Elumelu Foundation Fund, which is the TEF Fund. It's one of the most popular funds in Africa. And Tony Elumelu is a pioneer businessman and um, entrepreneurship guru. He's well known, well traveled. So he has a fund that he disburses funding to um, startups, established business, entrepreneurs generally in Nigeria, over 5,000 entrepreneurs in Africa, not just Nigeria alone. And that is one of the entrepreneurship schemes that helps a little bit. And then there's AYIN, the African Young Entrepreneurs Program. Then there's the African Development Fund. These are just a few of them. We listed others in these documents. There's the Lagos State Entrepreneurship Trust Fund, the LSATF. So there are lots of them that come up. But one thing that is the major question is why, what changed they bring? Why are things almost like the same way? Um, Things are not, it's not really sufficient enough. It's not really, nothing is really changing per se. Why is the economy still in this position? Why is there still recession if we are still putting in this amount of effort that is draining out this effort? Um, that's a very valid question. Um, so we're going to be looking at sectors of the economy. Um, I think looking at sectors of the economy. Um, so one of the sectors of the economy, we're going to look at the agricultural sector. Sorry about that. Agriculture. These are these sectors are not high performance sectors right now because agriculture is not really. It's it's there, but it's not done the right way. There's no modernization, inclusion of technology. Things can be done better, but we just mentioned some of them, some of the sectors: crop production, livestock production. Nigeria has very good arable land. Agriculture could be a big thing for the country if investments and partnerships are done right, public-private partnerships. Um, so we have crop production. Um, we have lots of crops, cash crops here in Nigeria, from cocoa to cotton to crop, economic trees, um, plants, and all that. There are lots of um, palm tree, every single crop can be found, fruits and vegetables. A lot of them are found in different parts of Nigeria, the middle belt area of Nigeria, the southern part of it, every single area of Nigeria, there is good crop and there's good land to farm and um, carry out modernized agriculture, but we're still um, we're yet to navigate that space properly. And then there's also livestock production, um, going from processing, fertilizer products, meat products, dairy products, textile and the likes, crop under crop, there's crop cultivation, agro-allied services like oil milling, synthetic fibers, cotton and textile, processing and packaging. All these are found in Nigeria. Then there is the energy sector, which has the natural resources, sources of energy, and reserves of both renewable and non-renewable minerals are found in commercial quantities in literally every Nigerian state. I mentioned that before. These resources are largely dormant and untapped in their locations. Um, Mining of coal, tin, iron ore, crude oil exploration are some of the major activities in this sector. Fun fact here, The tin, the tin reserve in Jos, Plateau State. Plateau State is in the middle belt area of Nigeria. It's like in the middle of Nigeria, and the tin it has a large deposit of lots of um, natural resources. So the tin reserve or the large amount of tin, um, the mineral called tin, the natural resource called tin, which is used for lots of um, um, raw materials, building and all the likes. The amount of um, reserves found in tin was used in building the present day Liverpool in the United Kingdom. It was um, it was from the resources they got there, the the export value they got from this thing. Nigeria was colonized by Britain, so that's understandable. That's where the relationship came into play. So the team gotten from Jos was used to build Liverpool the way it is today from a long time ago. So imagine if all that was channeled into the Nigerian economy, or if it is being channeled right now into the Nigerian economy, a lot of things will have changed. It is one of the most viable sectors in Nigeria for entrepreneurs, but still it is quite capital intensive. So we've listed a few of the numerous natural resources found in Nigeria. We have gold in commercial quantity, and I mean commercial amounts, meaning these are in large amounts. Um, they can be used for commercial services. They can be exported. They are large enough to be exported. They are large enough to be traded, sold for money also. So there's gold, there's bitumen, oil and gas, liquefied natural gas, obviously, crude oil, gypsum, lead and zinc. There's gemstone, uranium, tin, limestone, iron ore, feldspar, tantalite, glass sand, coal, asbestos, kaolin, lots and lots, marble, lots and lots of natural resources in large deposits on literally every state in Nigeria. And these are untapped. They are largely untapped. Most of them, apart from crude oil, are largely untapped and dormant in these locations. Um, so we're going to look at real estate and construction. It's a huge sector, but we're just going to give you what it looks like: civil engineering, town planning, specialized construction, property development. All these are just what constitutes the real estate sector. It's a good sector also. It's one of the sectors that has a large influx of entrepreneurship, but it can be done better. Can be done way better. Manufacturing and industry. Nigeria is, I can't seem to understand what the problem is. I mean, we all, everyone knows what the problem is, but can't seem to understand why we are still having this problem right now. The manufacturing and industry sector of the economy is almost at a dead zone. It's almost dead. Um, and if we had this sector figured out, a lot of things would make a lot of sense. And these sectors can't be figured out if you don't have power supply, if you don't have some of this. So everything is just in a chaos. Everything is just um not going right. The mixture and like things are just going wrong and here and there. So, and there's in the manufacturing sector, some of the major parts are in Nigeria are the cement and building materials, food and beverages, chemicals and fertilizers, textile, just to name a few. Technology and ICT is at a really high point right now. I mean, it's buzzing. I look at this slide and there are lots of companies here that are doing amazing work building good technology, B2B, B2C, SaaS, African tech space is mad, um, doing right and good things right now. There are lots of foreign investments. As of this year, the amount of investment into the ICT sector was tripled. Large companies, investment companies like Tiger Global venture capitalist firms, international hedge funds, and all that, international tech CEOs um, come to Nigeria, visit Nigeria, talk about Nigeria, um, love Nigeria a lot. Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, and the likes, Richard Branson, name them. Bill Gates loves Nigeria. All tech is booming right now in the country. Nigeria has a lot of tech talents also. I just mentioned a few of I just mentioned a few out of the numerous that come to the head at the point in time. Um, so we're now going to go to the mitigating factors. We've now understood some of the factors of some of the sectors of the economy and entrepreneurship in Nigeria. The overview of the economy. Now we're looking at some mitigating factors of the Nigerian economy and entrepreneurship in Nigeria. So unemployment crisis is an issue. One of the major problems of Nigerian youth in the economy is the problem of unemployment. Nigerian youths make up about half the population. Over 70% are aged 38 years and below. SMEs are tools for economic growth and development, which means small and medium enterprises are really important if you want your economy to grow. Because not everyone is going to have large industries. Not every Nigeria obviously cannot support that kind of framework right now and structure. Um, so that's why we have all these pockets of businesses and entrepreneurs here and there. So one of the mitigating factors to this, why we're at this point in time, why we are where we are at this point in time is unemployment. Nigeria has an alarming unemployment rate and crisis going on. Nigerian youths make up about half the population. This means that the country is blessed with a strong labor force. Um, they are faced with unemployment, so many educated youths lack jobs or a sustainable source of income. Um, According to the official report of Statista, we also attached links on these decks, on these files, on these presentations, so that if you have them, and you want to have them, when you click on this, you can read more. We have reference links also. So we attached a link here about from Statista, which is a reputable research agency, reputable research company. Um, they did their research, and obviously over 33.28% of Nigerians are unemployed at this point in time, and this is really sad. The growth of the Nigerian youth population far exceeds the expansion of employment opportunities, and as the population proliferates, so does the rate of unemployment. This means the population is expanding, and there are not enough jobs. The jobs are not enough to go around for the present population, and the population is increasing at astronomical rates. So this imbalance causes a lot of things and causes a lot of upsets in the Nigerian economy and the entrepreneurship space. So for instance, in March 2014, we're still talking about unemployment. Over 16 youths were killed during the interview of the Nigerian Immigration Service. There are lots of people who are looking for very small jobs, very amount of jobs. So there was a stampede when 500,000 job seekers, which is almost the same. This happens almost every time. Rushed in for applications of barely 5,000 vacancies, and this shows that there is a need for jobs, who want to work, but there are no jobs available. Innovation and infrastructure, small businesses offer several benefits to an economy. However, there are more than 100 million Nigerians living $1 daily, which is below poverty line. And lots of businesses lack infrastructure like power supply. I mentioned that before. Um, Power supply, road, and all that. If we had lights, constant lights, at least some industries would take off properly. It would offset a lot of um, lapses to solve a lot of issues, gaps. So innovation and infrastructure, lack of these innovations and proper infrastructure um, um, affects the dilapidates the economy. a large extent. So inflation and foreign exchange is an issue. Nigerian industries depend largely on importation of raw materials. For instance, a fashion entrepreneur imports large supplies of textile from different parts of the world, UK, US, Turkey, China, Vietnam, and the likes. These are some of the popular places government imported products, coming from. So for instance, these people have to consider exchange rates. The dollar is over 500 um, to 1 naira amidst inflation surges right now. So policies and ease of doing business. The ease of doing business and policies initiated by the Nigerian government majority of the time acts as an impeding factor to small and medium entrepreneurs. Furthermore, multiple levels, there are lots of tasks here and there. The government is not doing so much. They're not doing a lot. They're not doing. They can do so much more. And these entrepreneurs and business owners find a way to get or make profit or run businesses, and still they take so much tax and fines and levies from these people for no justification. And people abuse these positions of power just to collect money. And in the end, they kill a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs here in Nigeria, which is a constant threat to entrepreneurs a lot. Incentives and funding. Several Nigerian entrepreneurs are susceptible to financial predators without the much needed government protection and incentives. The government duty to make make life easier for the people, but even when incentives are offered, obtaining licenses and permissions have a lot of significant issues, a lot of frequent issues also. So here are some key takeaways and summary. Um, so Nigerian digital entrepreneurship is likewise at an all-time high. Online products that can't be handled, touched, or tasted, such as digital products, are always available. Music, films, ebooks, online courses, and even discourse could be examples. Um, Nigerian entrepreneurship has become, the economy is slowly becoming digital. Lots of people are doing amazing work, and there are lots of young people. So this is just an idea of what entrepreneurship looks like here in Nigeria. Yeah, and I think that's the end of it. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm really excited to have presented this. I mean, it's not um, it's not the the most important thing here we're trying to achieve is not to castigate anyone or point blames and all that, but just expose what is happening in Nigerian people and how a lot more can be done better. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for sticking with me all through this ride. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, please leave a message. Drop your questions. Try and reach out to us. We're always available to guide you or answer your questions or listen to your feedback, which is really important. I'll be seeing you very soon. Take care of yourself and have a great day. Peace. Bye, guys.